Okay, now we're going to go over our bonus question that I put on Edmodo last night. So we're going to take a look at this question and we're going to kind of walk through it and see what parts of the question you knew, which parts you had a little bit of a problem on. Because there are a few multiple steps in this that can easily be overlooked if you work too fast. Alright, we have Mr. Mason has 14 fruit trees. He has one orange tree and one pear tree, and the rest are divided evenly among apple, peach, and plum trees. So at this point, we don't know how many apple, peach, and plum trees there are, because it's not telling us necessarily, and we'll get back to that in just a moment. But last Tuesday, Mr. Mason picked 6 apples from each apple tree, and again, we don't know necessarily just yet how many apple trees there are, 10 plums from each plum tree, and again, we don't know how many plum trees necessarily at this point, 3 peaches from each peach tree. And peaches are up here as well, we're not quite sure, but we do know there is 1 pear tree and 4 pears from the pear tree. The question is going to ask us how many pieces of fruit did he pick last Tuesday. So I'm going to take my highlighter here and I'm just going to go through like we always do and highlight some things that I think could be important for later on. So I see up here Mr. Mason has 14 fruit trees. That tells us he has a total of 14 trees. We can't have any more than that. Next, he has only 1 orange, only 1 pear. And then the rest are divided evenly. So divided evenly. That obviously will tell us that is a division. Anytime you're splitting things into equal groups or you are making things equal in a group, we're going to be talking about division there. And he's dividing them equally among apple, peach, and plum trees. So we do know there are a total of 14 . So now I'm going to write down that we have 14 fruit trees. We have 1 orange and we have 1 pear tree, because the rest of them are evenly divided among apple, peach, and plum trees. So I need to first figure out how many are divided evenly. So if I take 14 and I subtract the 2 trees at the top, the orange and the pear tree, I'll be left with 12 trees. So now I need to take those 12 trees and divide them equally among the apple, peach, and plum. So those 3 types of trees. If I split 12 into 3 groups, I would have 4 into each group, because 4 times 3 equals 12. Now that I have my 12 divided by 3 is 4, I know there are 4 different types of 4 trees. There are 4 apple, 4 peach, 4 plum trees, and there are 1 pear and 1 orange. So now I need to go to the next. I now need to take those trees, which was 1 orange. Get my pen here. It was 1 orange tree. It was 1 pear tree. And it was also 4 apple and it was 4 peach and it was 4 plum. Now each one of these are the number of trees we have total. So we have 1 orange tree, 1 pear tree, 4 apple trees, 4 peach trees, 4 plum trees. Now we need to go through and figure out how many fruits from all these that we have. we have, it tells us right here next to our Tuesday that we have Mr. Mason picks 6 apple. So I'm going to come down here. 6 from the very important thing to see is each apple tree. 4 apple trees, 6 apples from each. 10 plums from each plum tree. So we have 10 from each plum. 3 peaches. So we come up to the peach, 3 from each. And then 4 pears from the 1 pear tree. 1 tree, 4 pears total. Now that I have those, I'm going to go ahead and do our math and see if we can't solve this. 6 apples times 4 trees, 24. We have 10 plums times 4 plum trees. We have 3 peaches times 4 peach trees. And we have 4 pears from 1 tree. And lonely old oranges had none. So if we take our final numbers and we go ahead and combine these, we can bring it up here, 24 plus, get the eraser here. And we'll erase that. We mean to put 40. 24 plus 40, just did these. And we have 64. 64 plus a 12. We have 4 plus 2 is 6. 6 plus 1 is 7. Now we need to finish off with our 4. And we have 76 plus 4. Carry our 1. 6 plus 4 is 10. 1 plus 7 is going to give us 8. So we have 80. The final question asks, how many pieces of fruit did he pick last Tuesday? So moving on, how many pieces of fruit did he pick last Tuesday? Mr. Mason picked 80 pieces of fruit last Tuesday. And there you have it.